Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm playing, y'all already know this in my real voice. Hello, welcome. Okay, to Down and Dirty with your girl, Dee Dee. Welcome back. I'm so glad to see you here today. It's probably arguably my second favorite day of the week. We're gonna be honest. I love this day. Cause it's Flip Up Page Friday! And I'm pumped, okay? I'm pumped to read. Every time I'm reading, I'm pumped. That was a lie. For all my real readers out there, you know that there is such a thing called book slumps. And we get in them. And especially if we're reading consistently, the way that I read consistently, I don't see how people don't get into book slumps. I don't think you're reading enough if you don't get into a book slump, period. I'm currently reading 3 books at the same time right now because I'm kind of in the middle of a book slump. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know what's going on, but I'll let you know. As these 3 books are really capturing my attention, but we'll talk about those another day. So today we're talking about another reverse harem because y'all already know I'm coming with the reverse harem Rex. It's happening. It's happening. And I'm here for it. I know you're here for it. We're all here for it. Okay? So the series we're talking about today is the Harem of Hearts by C.M. Stunick. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I think. Don't quote me on that. The Harem of Hearts series has 3 books in it. What you guys don't know is if once you read this series, there's no going back. When I don't know if I can stress it. Look into my eyes.
There is no going back.
That's about as much warning as I can give you. I didn't get any warning. Okay. And now I cannot look at a certain series when I go to Disney World or wherever. I can't unsee it. I can't unsee what I've read and imagined in my head in these books. And to explain that, because I brought up Disney and now y'all are really confused and why I would be reacting like this, right? Well, that's because this is a retelling. I'm not going to call it a parody because it's not funny. Okay, it's not funny, but it is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. Okay, I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared. Y'all aren't prepared. I can't prepare you for what this book series is. Okay, I really, honestly, truly can't. When I tell you I'm going and I'm looking around at Disney and I'm in the little shops and I'm like, ooh, what little knickknacks do I want today? Okay. And then I turn and I see Alice in Wonderland, and all I think about is Alice and 9 big cocks. Yeah, that's in a poem. It's in a poem. It's in the book. And I told y'all that, I would try to keep it below 6, but this series, I feel like if I had to, be scarred I'm not sure if it was a good or a bad way, but I'm scarred. I'm forever changed. Okay. Forever changed by this series. I genuinely don't think you read this and then go back to looking at Alice in Wonderland like the kids' book that it's supposed to be. I genuinely don't think that's possible. Okay. You see how I don't think it's possible. Okay. I'm clutching my invisible pearls. Ah! Y'all, there's a scene with the tail. There's a few scenes with the tail or 2. Raunchy. Okay, this series is raunchy. Raunchy. What? If y'all go read this, which you really should, but if you go read it and You get into that, first few chapters where the only way for Alice to undo a certain thing is for Will to do a certain thing. Just keep reading. Just keep reading. What Dory say? Just keep swimming. Just keep reading. Just keep reading. Just keep reading, reading. I'm telling y'all, it is no joke. And put the raunchy stuff aside, the retelling of Alice in Wonderland, because it plays on everything in the book itself, or books rather, because there's three. There's Alice Adventures in Wonderland, Allison's and the Tory Tea Party, and then Alice Shatters the Looking Glass. There is also a spinoff, but we're really not going to touch too much on that because that was my side at the beginning of this. The Kings of Wonderland is a spinoff series. However, it's not completed. She hasn't even finished the series, and this was at least 3 years ago. So, I digress. I wouldn't read that yet. I do know she plans to write that after she writes like 2 or 3 more series or something. She did bring it up because in the comments I see it and we're wanting it. I guess I'm not that traumatized that I'm ready for the spinoff series to be completed because it's just the truth of the matter. I'm ready for that series to be completed. I'm gonna read it. And whatever trauma I had, it doesn't matter because the books were so good. The writing was so good. The retelling in a modern, and not just modern way, but also with no kids in mind. Because let's be honest, the people who made Alice in Wonderland were definitely on that stuff. I don't know if it was acid. I don't know if it was shrooms. I don't know if it was a really intense dab. I don't know. But whatever drugs they were having in that series of events that made them write this and create this, well, they sure did turn it up a notch. She really did. She turned it up a few notches. Okay. Of course, there's a reverse harem. I wouldn't say there was any kind of real enemies to lovers. I think there's a hesitancy and she's unsure of a lot of things. And there is some back and forth where she doesn't know if she can trust some of her husbands. And then there's her being trying to be killed. Even the understory of, because it's she and they, she as in Allison, because her name is not Allison, this book is Allison. But Allison in the book is trying to get them to understand, I'm not her. And they're like, bro, you're her. You're Alice. She's like, no. But she still goes through the things that kind of Alice would go through, but it's just very much more modernized while also being unmodern. When you read it, you understand what I mean by that. I don't want to give too much away because it's little details. And those are just so much more fun when you read them. Okay? So much more fun when you read them. I believe there is sword crossing in this book. I don't know what my obsession with the sword crossing is, but honestly, I think it's once you get to too many of them, of the harem, the girl only has so many holes. I don't know what else to say. So they gotta start figuring it out amongst each other while she's busy. I mean, it's just what it is. But this book is so good. All 3 of them. It progressively pulls you in each I wouldn't even say each book, each chapter, each different flashback too. Because she has some flashbacks where she went through some stuff before all of this even happened, before she got to Wonderland, the actually coming out of Wonderland, going back to Wonderland, the looking glasses, the tattoos on the actual some of the characters. So cool. So cool. I think I've read books, obviously, where tattoos were runes and they were protection, or they meant something as in, marked by a god or a goddess for some special purpose. But they're never moving and never ever changing. And there's ever changing tattoos in here. And I just thought that was a really cool concept that I haven't really seen before. And so she was kind of blowing my mind, if I'm being honest, because books rely on your imagination and your ability to follow the author and create the world that they're trying to get you to see. But ultimately, it's on your imagination. And she was really taking me there, okay? And then she took me there in some other ways that I really just wasn't prepared for. Like when I say raunchy, okay? And this is giving modern world, but it's also giving fantasy because there's a whole nother world, but it's also giving not shifters, but shifters, shape shifters, maybe mind games, ultimate like chess game. There's certain, oh God, how do I say it without giving stuff away? There are certain beings in the actual books that, aren't alive in real life, but they're alive there. And the stuff that they say is so funny, so funny, like hilarious. And I was dying. But this book, I feel like it gave me all of the feels. At points, I was probably angry. I was definitely angry, especially during that. There was a few of them, a few scenes, I feel. But I was definitely angry at some points. I was definitely laughing. I think I was close to tears, so I don't know that I got the tears out, but I probably was close to them at some points when I was like, no, that's not happening. That's not happening. And then I'm like, okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. Okay. I felt the schmexy scenes from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. And I know that's not very much because I'm only 5'2" and 5'3". If I had a fro, I fear they couldn't get to my scalp with all that fro. But now I just have locks. So I fear I'm 5'2" again, and that's okay. But all of me is going to say that felt that. Felt that. I was rereading stuff like, I was like, oh my God, do I need to go read the Bible? I feel so scandalized. Y'all scandalous. Okay. Scandalous. And I think at one point I was reading some of this stuff during work and I look up like, they can't know. They can't know. Can they know? Can they see me? Did I just tense up? Did I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, Did I do that out loud or is that in my head? Like, see, this won't be reading and work no more. Okay, because my old boss, he would start reading over my shoulder like, I don't think you want to keep reading some of this stuff. I don't know where it's gonna go. And he got a magnetism for finding the raunchy words. It may not even be a raunchy part, but he like, oh, I saw that. What they talking about that for? Look now. Look now. Don't keep reading unless you frisk to read. I did let him read one scene from one book one time, and Ooh, I know he'll never be the same. Sometimes I just got to bring y'all into the suffering with me because I don't think a man can really truly impress me now because I've read books. And then I've read this Alice in Wonderland freaking retelling by C.M. Stonick, and it got mind blown by some of the stuff they was doing in here. And with certain appendages, dirty. This is crazy. Go read it. You won't be disappointed. I promise. You really won't. I know I'm scaring y'all with all of that extraness, but it is really a great series. She's very thought out and methodical about how everything ties together, even from way before her to where we are now, and then where we're going to be when she finished the Kings of Wonderland series. So, do yourself a favor. I don't know if she has an audiobook for that, but if she does, headphones. Head motherfucking phones. That's all I got to say. Okay? Go read that. Love that. Once you read it, come back to the comment section of this video and be like, girl, you weren't telling no lies. She ate it up. Okay, she ate it up. and then you go eat it up too when you read it. Well, that's all for Flip a Page Fridays, y'all. I can't wait to see y'all next week with a new series or even a standalone. There was this, it might be a standalone, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There is a standalone that's probably even more crazy than that series, and it's just one book. If that tells you anything. So be looking forward to that one. Be looking forward to Flip a Page Fridays. I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and the most important, subscribe to your girl, Down and Dirty with Dee. I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all. Bye.